How do you deal with out of office employees that are assigned customer tickets in your JSM or Jira software projects? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to use Resolution's out of office assistant plus an automation rule that is going to automate the assignment of our tickets to the individuals that are actually in the office and not to those that are out of office. That way, we can avoid stale tickets. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. Drop a like if you get value out of this video. And don't forget to check out the links down below, as you definitely want to start a free 30-day trial to Out of Office Assistant for Jira from Resolution. Let's jump into Jira and let's take a look. So before I show you how awesome it is to use Resolution's out of office assistant with this automation rule that we're going to create, I first want to talk about what happens if you don't have out of office, right? What happens if you're just trying to auto assign issues inside of Jira or inside of JSM? Now, if we look at this article by Resolution, we can discover that auto assignments are the #1 automation for Jira. So a lot of people are very, very interested in smart auto assignments. And this makes sense, right? Because when someone is the assignee of an issue, there's accountability. There's that like commitment that you are going to work on that thing. And so having unassigned issues is never a good idea, because it basically means that some ticket is not going to get done because nobody's taking ownership or responsibility of it. So it makes sense that we are very interested in automation rules that do auto assignments. And as you can see here, there's a couple of different ways to auto assign. We can auto assign to a specific user. We can auto assign to a specific team member using people that are like users in a group, right? Or users in a role, or even users in a defined list. And then there's a couple of different methods for the automation rules to automatically handle the assignment for you. There's a balanced workload, there's a randomness where it just randomly picks people from the group, and then there's a round robin, which is what we're going to be highlighting in this video, where you're just going in a circle, right? And this makes sense, right? This makes sense that these are the options that are in the automation rules. But as this article goes on to describe, when someone goes on vacation, when someone goes on PTO, or they're out of office, this kind of breaks, because it's the automation rule. While it's smart to do the assignment, it's smart to do the auto assignment the first time, it's not smart enough to know that that person that got selected is out of office. And that's what the rest of this video is really going to highlight is, okay, so let's assume that that person is out of office. How does Resolution's out of office assistant for Jira manage this and help us with these round robin automation rules? So make sure you stay tuned for the rest of this video, because you are going to really enjoy how Resolution solves this problem of folks being on vacation and these auto assignment automation rules that are ever so popular. All right, so the first thing you want to do is obviously you want to get the out of office assistant from Resolution for Jira. Now, once you have that, you are basically going to create rules. Now, I do have a video covering how to use out of office assistant, so make sure you check out the description down below so you can see how to use this tool. We're going to be focusing in, we're going to be zooming in on a very specific use case, and that is when somebody goes out of office, the out of office assistant is really good at letting us know that that individual that you assigned a ticket to is out of office, and if they set up their rule correctly, it should auto assign to another person. But what happens if that other person's also out of office? Right? So what happens if you have like 2/3 of your team out of office? Well, I'm going to show you how to create an automation rule that is basically going to cycle through your agents or your users until we find somebody that isn't out of office. And it all starts with these out of office rules, because before we get too far, we want to make sure that whomever's out of office has their rules set up so that out of office assistant knows that they are indeed out of office. So that's step one. As you can see, I have one set up here for myself, and I'm going to show you how to do the automation rule next. All right, so once we have that covered, the next thing we want to do is we want to create an automation rule. And so I'm just going to go to my system over here, go to global automation, and I'm going to create an automation rule. The purpose of this automation rule is to cycle through your agents. And so we are going to have a group where all your agents are in, because we're going to do a round robin assignment. As the automation rule, in a round robin fashion, assigns the ticket to the next person in that list of groups, it's going to be cross-referenced with that out of office rule to make sure that that person who is now the fortunate winner of this ticket is indeed not out of office. Because if they are, then the automation rule is simply going to skip over them and go to the next person until we finally get to somebody who isn't out of office. So let me show you how to build that. So we're going to go back here to Jira. We're going to hit the create rule, and we're going to basically create this rule that is a little sophisticated. It's not too bad, but I'm going to show you how easy it is to build. We're going to select multiple issue events as our trigger, and we want this to run anytime the issue is created or anytime the issue is assigned. Once we have that, we're then going to hit the then action, and we want to do a refetch. Let me type in fetch here. We want to make sure that we're not taking action on a bad assignee. So we want to make sure that the data has settled, the rule has had time to execute, and then we're going to go in and essentially start doing our reassignment. So once you have that, we are then going to do an if statement. Now this if statement is optional. Essentially, we want to find any issues where the assignments are empty. Now there's a couple of ways to go about this, because you might want to scope this project out to just work on a specific project, or maybe for just for a specific request type or issue type. So that's all optional for you. But just to keep things simple in this demo, I'm just going to check and see if the assignee is empty. So I'm just going to do a JQL condition, and I'm going to do assignee is empty, just to make sure that I'm only pulling issues where the assignee is indeed not assigned. That way I can go and assign it to somebody. And then once I have that, I'm going to do an action, and this time I'm going to assign the issue. And here we're going to go to a group. So this time we're going to go users in a group. And this method right here, this is interesting. This is where we're going to pick our round robin. So all round robin means is that you're going to start at the top of the list, or somewhere in the list, but preferably at the top. Jira does it for you. You don't have to worry about it. And then it's going to go through each person in that group in a round robin. So it's going to go in a circle. So once it exhausts this person, it'll go to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. That's all round robin means. And then we're going to select the group. So I'm just going to select my developer group A. And essentially, we're just going to, all this is saying is, if an issue is created, the assignee is empty, go assign to somebody from this group. Okay, that's all it's going to do. And it's just going to go in a circle around the people that are defined in this group. But the important part is that it's going to be cross-referenced against that out-of-office rule that we set up earlier, so that if, or in the unfortunate event that this round-robin automation rule assigns it to a person that is indeed out of office, it'll just go to the next person. So that's kind of what this automation is doing here. So once we have that, we're just going to turn it on and give it a name. So out-of-office round-robin is what we'll call it. I'll turn on this rule. And now we're going to go back to Jira, and we're going to essentially create a ticket. All right. And so we're not going to do anything fancy. In fact, I'm not even going to do it in a JSM project, but this will work in any Jira project that you want. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to create a ticket, and then I'm going to assign it to myself. Because when I assign it to myself, if you remember, I'm out of office, right? And so this should go to the next person in the list. So let me show you how easy that is. So we're going to come over here, click on create. I'll make this big so you can see it, right? I'm just going to create a story, demo round robin. And the important part is under assignee, I'm going to assign it to myself. Now this is optional, right? It's the moment that it becomes assigned, or even if it's unassigned, it's going to assign it to somebody. So it's kind of got a cover, right? So this will work if you have it assigned to somebody. It's going to check that to make sure that assignee is not out of office. But if it's unassigned, the rule is automatically going to pick it up and give it to somebody, right? It's going to give it to the next person in the list on the round robin. Then we're going to be checking if somebody's out of office or not. So I'm going to hit create. Hopefully that's enough to cover those. I'm going to view the issue. And down here, we're going to check the history here. As you can see from the comments, Alex Ortiz is out of office, right? This is coming in from my out of office assistant. This is part of the resolution thing, right? I set up a message that says, hey, I'm out of office, right? And so I'm going to refresh here because my automation rule should have caught it, right? And I'm going to show you in the history here. When I created the ticket, it was assigned to me. The Jira out of office add-on, which is kind of what we're looking at here, is essentially going, hey, wait a minute. This person's out of office, so let's make this ticket unassigned. And then the automation rule that we created is going, wait, hold up. You just unassigned a ticket. Let's go to the next person on the list. And if this person, if a bite with Lena was also out of office, then it would unassign it from her and give it to the next person on the list, right? And so that cycle continues. And I think that's a pretty cool and convenient way of dealing with your out of office agents, because Rather than having to let your tickets just sit there for a week or two while somebody's out on PTO or on sick leave, right? The tool can automatically, behind the scenes, you don't have to do anything, take care of it for you. And your employees are setting up their out of office using the out of office assistant. So that part's taken care of for you. So this is a really cool way, again, to ensure that your tickets are always being worked or are handled by somebody who is indeed in the office. One other bit of information that I want to give you is that Resolution, towards the end of the year, will be releasing an update to their out of office assistant to integrate this whole round robin experience with Outlook and Google Calendar, and it's going to make this whole experience so much more seamless. So make sure you stay tuned for that, as I really think it's going to give us the little pizzazz that it needs to make this really, really awesome functionality that much better. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, and don't forget, more importantly, check out that link in the description down below so you can start your free 30-day trial to this amazing app by Resolution. They also have a pretty cool merch store, so if you're interested in their merch, go check them out. All right, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.